Hi, friends. We are learning about unit rate, and we're going to use that unit rate in a real life situation. Let's pretend we're going to the grocery store, and at the grocery store, we spy some avocados, and we're going to have some friends over tonight, so we are going to make some amazing guacamole. In order to make enough, we need 8 avocados. Okay? We know at the store, we see that 8 avocados are $4. So we're given that information. Okay. But what if I need more than 8? What if I'm having a really big party and I need a lot more? That's where unit rate and understanding how to calculate unit rate and then use that unit rate to calculate larger amounts is going to come in. Okay. I'm going to use a table to help me set this up. This table that you see is a way for mathematicians to help make sense and organize the information that they have. Okay? It means that I don't have to have a whole bunch of mathematics all over my page that then is hard to go back through and understand. It keeps it organized for me. And as a mathematician, that's going to be super important. And so I'm going to start by putting in the information that I know based on what I've been given. I know already that 8 avocados is $4. Okay? That's what we're told in the problem. In order to establish unit rate, I have to have another situation that I can look at. Okay. I could use 8 avocados is $4 to help me figure out unit rate. I could also use the relationship between another equal ratio to help me figure that out. I'm going to use the idea of equal ratio. How much do 16 avocados cost? Okay. Well, if 8 avocados cost $4, I have to figure out how many 16 avocados cost. In order to figure that out, I am going to look at the relationship between 8 and 16. Now, because I'm using unit rate, that means that I'm thinking of what's called a multiplicative relationship. So I'm looking at what can I multiply or divide by to go from 8 to 16. Well, I know since 16 is larger, I'm going to have to multiply. So I'm multiplying, but 8 times what gives me 16? Well, my math facts tells me that 8 times 2 is 16. With equivalent ratios, in order for them to stay equal to each other, that means that if I'm multiplying the number of avocados by 2, I also have to multiply the cost in dollars times 2, or they're no longer the same ratio. They're not equal to each other. 4 times 2 is 8. So I know 16 avocados is going to cost me $8. Okay, let's say I need even more than 16 avocados. Let's say that I need 20 avocados. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky. Okay, unlike when I went from 8 to 16 by multiplying by 2, if I think about my factors, there's nothing I can multiply 8 by to get 20. I skip right over it. 8, 16, 24, skip right over 20. 16 is the same way. I can't skip count by 16s and it ever says 20. I skip way over it. 16, 32 goes way over. So in order to figure out how to find 20 avocados, I have to do something else. I have to figure out how much 1 avocado costs. So I'm going to do some math. In order to figure if 8 avocados is $4, if I'm finding 1 avocado, again, I'm looking for that multiplicative relationship. What can I multiply or divide by to go from 8 to 1. Well, because I'm getting smaller, that definitely tells me I'm dividing. So 8 divided by what gets me 1? Ooh, division's kind of hard, so here's a trick. Okay? If I look at it the other way, rather than saying 8 divided by something is 1, if I flip it around and I say 1 times what gets me 8, that can help with that sort of processing of this. Okay? I know that 1 times 8 is 8, so therefore 8 divided by 8 has to be 1. Again, just like I did with going between $4 and $8, what I do to one side, I have to do the same to the other side. Okay, so if I'm going from 8 to 1 by dividing by 8, that means I have to take my 4, my cost in dollars, and I also have to divide by 8. Well, 4 divided by 8 gets me 4/8. Well, 4/8 isn't really a dollar, in dollar form. So I have to figure out what 4/8 would be in dollar form. Well, I know if I simplify 4/8, I get 1/2. Okay, so what is 1/2 of a dollar? I know what half of a dollar is. Half of a dollar is 50 cents. So each avocado, one avocado, is 50 cents. Now that I know that, I can go through and I can figure out the rest of this. So let's figure out what 20 would be. If I know, I'm going to simplify our space here a little bit. I can't go from 8 to 20. I can't go from 16 to 20. But I can go from 1 to 20. To go from 1 to 20, because 20 is bigger, I'm always going to think multiplication. And then I'm saying 1 times what is going to give me 20? Well, 1 times 20 gives me 20. Again, what I do to one side, I absolutely have to do to the other side. So if I multiplied 1 times 20, that means I have to multiply 50 cents times 20. Now I could do that by setting up the multiplication problem and saying 20 times 50 cents and doing my multiplication that way. And I end up with $10. Or I could count it up and just say, okay, for every 2 sets of 50 cents, that's $1. Since I have to, so 1.50 cents, $1, $1.50, $2, $2.50, $3, and count up until I've done 50 cents 20 times. Either way is going to get me $10. So I know 20 avocados cost $10. Here's the tricky part. Okay, how much does 9 avocados cost? So I'm going to give myself a little bit of room here. Okay, we figured out how much 16 avocados cost. We figured out how much $10 cost. We figured out even 1 avocado. Now we need 9. Okay, starting with that multiplicative relationship. Can I multiply 8 times anything to get 9? If I skip count by 8s, will I ever say 9? No way. So I can't just multiply directly between 8 and 9. It's not possible. Not using a whole number. Okay. But I have figured out 1, and I know that 1 can be used for any number in the world. I can go from 1 to 9. How? Well, 1 times what is 9? 1 times 9 is 9. Taking that 50 cents again, have to multiply it by the same amount times 9. Okay, I don't know what 50 cents times 9 is. So I could either count them up, 50 cents, $1, $1.50, $2, $2.50, $3, $3.50, $4, $4.50. There are my 9 50s. Or I could actually do the multiplication of 50 cents times 9. I end up with, after I put in that decimal point, $4.50. By using unit rate and a table to help us organize our information, we can figure out the cost of any number of avocados. As soon as I figure out how much one avocado costs, I can use that amount for any other amount of avocados. I could figure out how much, 2 million avocados cost, as long as I know the cost for one avocado. You're going to use that same thinking in the problems that are to follow. You need to find that unit price, that unit rate, figure out how much for one, and then you can use that knowledge to help you to figure out how much for any other number.